Hope Channel, changing lives.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk. My name is Evie. As usual, I'm going to be the host for today's program. And I won't be doing this alone, but before I introduce my amazing panelists to you, I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook and YouTube Hope TV Ghana. So you can stream live and join the conversation by leaving your comments under the comment section. And I will do my best to read some of your comments as we go on with the discussion. You know, we always get stories on this table, and sometimes we do get similar stories but different dynamics. And the only thing that it makes me wonder, the only thing it does is to make me wonder, is there change? Are people doing better? Because we keep having similar stories over and over and over. And it's just sad, because you would think that with the way the world is going, people will be doing better. People in terms of mothers will be doing better, fathers will be doing better, children will be doing better, husbands will be doing better, wives will be doing better. But then it's rather unfortunate that we keep having the same situation on our hands every day. And here at Hope TV, especially with the show Real Talk, what we can do is to find you the right people to have the right conversation. It's to find you the people that will tell you as it is. It's to find you the people that are not coming to sit here and sugarcoat and speak without thinking of the other person's feelings. Empathy. You know, it's easy to say, oh, forgive. God says forgive and forget. But the truth is, when you're going through it, the pain from that young age, forgiveness is difficult. I don't know about you, but I've been at a point where forgiveness was a very difficult thing for me. And someone would say it took God. It literally took God. Because when you look at it from the human perspective, it's not easy. See how this person has hurt you so much, and they say forgive. And sometimes, up till now, this is my thing. I say, I can forgive you, I have forgiven you, but it doesn't mean I need you back into my life. Because if I keep seeing you, maybe I haven't forgiven you after all. But we have such a sad story on our table today. And the first thing that came to mind was, who is a father? Who is considered a father? Is it the one that produces the child? Mm-hmm. Is it the one that pays school fees and other needed essentials? Is it the one that is present? Is it the one that you go to in times of need, in times of trouble? Who is a father? You know, and I ask this question because a lady has written a very, very sad story to us, and we are going to go through it. And it has to do with the role of a father in our lives, and when it gets to such pivotal moments such as marriage. And it's sad that your father is alive, but you don't want him there. I mean, what's the joy of having a father walk you down the aisle, of having your father telling your in-laws, hey, this is what... It's sad because I got married not a long time ago, and I saw the role my father played when it came to the customary marriage and the white wedding. That's where you see how important it is. And that was the day I realized that people without fathers, fathers who are dead, fathers who are absent, that day can be very traumatizing for them. And I don't wish this on anybody, and I hope our lady who is listening will have some sort of consolation at the end of the day, will be firm in a decision and be okay in a decision that this is what she wants to do going forward. And I am going to do this by with amazing panelists, as I mentioned earlier on, and all the way not in Ghana we have Kweku Day. Kweku is here to share his opinion with us, to give us the real truth, nothing but the truth. Kweku, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm also well. How is life? How is work? Everything.
Life is good. Life is very good. Work is very good too. You know, you're always, on the grind, to make the best in life. So life is great. I thank God for life.
We thank God for life. We thank God for. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so in the studio we have a pastor who is also a counselor. I really like this combination because they can speak from all angles. They're not just going to tell us what the Bible is saying. They're going to tell us psychologically, mentally, and all
the physical
aspect as well. So it makes you appreciate their point of view. And Pastor Counselor Sydney Lamy.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
How has your week been?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We are taking one day at a time.
Yeah, we are.
That's all I can do for this week.
Right. And last but certainly not least is Shepherdess Vera Amponsa. I remember talking to my producer and saying, I want Osofo Mami on this discussion. Because I believe you guys sort of have first hand with these things. When young ladies in the church want to get married, they see you as mothers and as, they come to you, what should I do, what should I not do? And sometimes I can see how it will put you in a tight corner. Yes, because you are careful what to say.
What not to say.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
How has the week been?
We're managing.
And the family.
Of course.
God has been good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm going to start with you, and I remember I asked the question, who is a father?
Well, thank you. Good evening to your viewers out there. A father. Well, from my point of view, I think it should be somebody who is responsible.
Right.
Not just by giving birth to a child or bringing forth a baby to the world. If you give birth to me without taking care of me, you are not a father. For me, that's what I think. A father is supposed to be somebody who gives birth, take care of the baby from infancy up to when, of course, even after marrying, giving your daughter to somebody to get married to, you still have a role to play. Yes, I have seen responsible fathers who will still build and tell their kids or their wards that, this is for you. Right. Even though you don't stay here, when you go round, you come. Anytime when you come, this is your room, this is your key. Right. Those are people who call fathers. But sometimes situation kind of, all fingers are not the same. Yes. Some fathers may not have all that it takes to take care of their wards. That is another aspect. But you do not have to, run away from your responsibility. In times of difficulties, you have to still be there for your ward. You have to take care. I have seen mothers struggle most of the time. I don't know if because I'm a woman, I'm talking from the point of view. Mothers struggle, and so fathers always go like when they get to their peak, they will be buying us towel and they'll be buying a cloth kente for the mothers. Of course, when you left me, my mom, I have just given birth to just one. After years of marriage, I am blessed with a baby girl. And my husband kind of bought me a special gift. You know why? We stay apart. He stays in Western North. I am here in Accra. And then anytime he comes and he sees the struggles, the sleepless nights, mothers go through a lot. And a father, or that they know, quote unquote, especially from where I'm coming from in my village, they wake up early in the morning, maybe going for their Sabbath school, because here in Accra we don't go for morning Sabbath school, but in the village we do. They will go and they will not even come back home on time, knowing very well there is no food at home, but the mother will be there to take care of it. And so I'm saying that if you're such a father, then you are not. Yeah. We can only call you a man, but you're not a father. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With this in mind and with this background, I'm going to read our story and then I'll take Pastor's view as well. So he says, "Dear Real Talk, I don't want my father to walk me down the aisle. I even hope he will not be part of my wedding at all. Hear me out. This is how my story goes. I don't know what fatherly love is or what it means to have a father in your life. My father was never a part of my life. He did not take care of me. At the very tender age of 3, my father left my mother and I and walked out of our lives. He went ahead to marry another woman and had a family with her. I don't know what went on in my parents' relationship, but that is not my concern. Even if my father did not love my mother, or my mother was not a good woman, did that mean he didn't love me too? What crime could a 3-year-old have committed to deserve such abandonment? I remember as a child, I constantly asked my mother to take me to my father. I wanted to see him. I wanted to know him. But all attempts made by my mother was unsuccessful. At the age of 10, I vividly remember the man known as my dad throwing my mother and I out of his home because my mother had brought me over to see him. His new wife called us witches who wanted to destroy her home. My mother refused to ever step foot in that house again. I was always sad when I visit my paternal grandmother's home and see all her family photo on display, most with pictures of my dad and his new family. He always looked so happy carrying his other kids, and I wondered why he couldn't love me. Is there something wrong with me? Am I evil? Now, I am a 28-year-old engineer about to get married, and this man wants to claim ownership. He wants to accept dowry and walk me down the aisle. I have fought tooth and nail over this. I don't want him there. I want my stepdad to take my dowry and walk me down the aisle. I want absolutely nothing to do with him, just as he wanted nothing to do with me that day he threw us out. Evie, this man has never apologized for what he did. He has never said sorry. Yet he has no shame trying to reap what he did not sow. Some family members are telling me I need my dad's blessing and that it would be a curse refusing him to take my dowry and walk me down the aisle. Was it not a curse refusing to take care of me? This drama is causing a huge rift between my family. My mother has refused to talk and says the decision is mine. What do I do? Should I just forget everything and go and sign without doing any traditional marriage? Am I expected to honor a man who was irresponsible? Please help. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. It's one of those things. And we've titled it, He Did Not Take Care of Me, Now He Wants to Take My Dad. Repeat what you did. So. Pastor, wow. I'll ask, I don't know if you have more to add to who a father is as shepherd as
Yeah, actually, what I'm adding is the aspects of not being the biological father, but you take the fatherly role.
Right. Okay.
You see, being a father does not only become the one who produces the child.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you see, people have assumed the fatherly role by taking care of the ward right from the onset till death. Fatherly responsibility ends when you are dead.
Right.
So, whilst you are alive, you're still a father, but it shouldn't be restricted to biological father. Because people say, I have a godfather.
Yeah.
Somebody who is not biologically. But people also adopt children and give them fatherly responsibilities.
That's true.
So in adding to that, a father is a mentor. He nurtured the next generation in carrying out the duties that have been given to him, that he transferred it. And you can see that the father too is someone who holds the future of that child in his hand.
Yeah.
Because though the mother is there, but you could see from traditional settings, fathers make sure. That's why she's saying, I need my father's blessing.
Right.
I need my father's blessing. That one, he's the one who speaks into your 23 chromosomes that he presented to you and becomes something that is a real thing. It becomes living. Because when that man speaks, nothing can change that. So you need that man as a father to speak into your life. And when he speaks, everything starts.
Even when he has not been responsible?
No, I'm talking about, we are not talking about irresponsibility aspect. We are talking about
the responsible
who a father is.
Right.
And how important
it is. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't
taking one angle.
Yeah, that's the angle. Not biologically, but you took care of that child from onset. You can speak into that child's life. And that child will be. A research has been shown that when your daughter is sick and the father comes, the sickness will run.
I've read that. I've read that.
You've read?
Of course. Yeah.
I have experienced it.
I have also experienced that.
I'm yet to
Yes. You just call that so he holds the health. There another research also indicates that the intellect to be able to pass the examinations and to know be sharp in class, you need the presence of the father.
Really?
So yeah. And that one I have experienced it. Because when the moment my father accepted to be part of my life, anything I study, it sticks.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Research has shown.
Right.
And it's there. So you see the important role, and we feel what our sister, she's lacking these things. And for that matter, it needs to be. I made a statement till death. Once the man is alive, something can be done about it.
Something can be done about it.
Well,
we hope so. We hope so. Kweku, I'll take your general opinion on the story. I don't know if you have any more to add to, in your opinion, who a father is.
Yeah, pretty much Pastor has said a whole lot. I was just going to say, a father is like a protector, right?
Yeah.
You protect your children. And when the father figure is not there in the home, there's no protection, there's no guidance.
Yeah.
So if I don't have my father with me, you know, I'm pretty much lost. Yes, I have my mom with me, right? But as a father, like you said, Pastor, when the dad comes home, the sickness is gone, right? That there's some power in it, you know. So when the father is not around, there's no protection, there's no guidance. I feel many of the children sometimes can have a whole lot of emotional stress going on, and that's something we also need to tackle. Well, about the story itself, it's very sad, frustrating, annoying actually. It's very disturbing to see that, you know, after all these years, you come and you want to take glory. Now, if I want to see it in the lenses of the Western world, this will not happen. I don't think there will be a conversation about this. They wouldn't even think twice. They will just go straight ahead, sign the papers, and get married in the Western world. But here's the situation where we're looking at it in a Ghanaian perspective, right? I heard Pastor mention earlier on that, you know, when the traditional piece kicks in, we have to take a step back and see how we can digest the situation to bring peace.
True.
But if you are to ask me, what do I think? I strongly believe that, the stepfather stepped in to be a dad to the child. If I'm getting my metrics right, from the age of 10, she asked to see her dad. The dad is saying, you know, pretty much leave. I don't know you. You know, so you have 18, after 18 years, now she's 28, she has graduated, she wants to get married. I just believe that, you know, the stepfather, if he steps in, will be very great.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Thank you so much, Kweku. Now let's speak about child abandonment. Mrs. Sampons. The challenges. 3 years. And then he just got up and left. I think what's even more painful is she can see the love he's showing his other children. So you can be this to me, yet you decide that you will not. And what are some of the challenges, the difficulties, the psychological pain a child goes through when they experience abandonment from a parent, especially a father?
I think with that aspect, the counselors will do best, especially when it's about thinking about their psychological effects, the impacts on them. I mean, you know, and the sad part for me is when she has even realized that I still need a father in my life. Mommy, take me to my father. I go and then you sack me. I don't know how this girl is going to cope. And I'm even worried about the marriage aspect as well. You know, a lot of people, like Pastor would say, research says that, you know, people coming from broken homes normally face challenges when they're about or in marriages. They have challenge because they can't comprehend when they realize the father was so rude to the mother, or the mother was so rude to the father, and the father, they are going to stay together. Any little thing will trigger that. And so I'm thinking that this child isn't going to take it easy at all, and the love. The husband has a big role to play here. I don't know the kind of heart he's going to have to, accommodate her, because such people, little things, they will be angry, they'll be upset. You will not even understand them. Sometimes you just need to sit back and analyze, why did my wife even react this way? It is because of her upbringing. She felt there was no further love, and of course, why must you also treat her that way? And so she would always be, kind of conflicting with situations like this. So I feel it's sad, but I know Pastor will say much, because it's about psychological effects. Yeah.
But do you are there any, why do you think this man left? Could there be any possible reason? And even if he left, why did he leave the child? I mean, parents have left the marriage and they still keep relationship with their children.
But like I was saying, sometimes it has to be issues of money. One, but I don't see his.
Yeah,
I don't see his as part of the reason. Money to be part of the reason why he left, because he left, went ahead to marry, gave birth, and he was giving love to those children. Right. Possibly, I for one, my father gave birth to me at the age of 25. He was a student, so you can imagine the frustration. Yeah. Excuse me, I was also told that, my mother is a fancy, my father is an achimman. Why must you go and marry a fancy, that kind of thing? Okay. And so if my father was not so tough in mind, I'm sure he would have also left my mom. There was some sort of strong love for my mother, that's what I think. And apart from that, I think he loved us. He loved me unconditionally, because even though he was a young boy, he was schooling. At a point he has to stop the schooling, because you can't be schooling and then you give. How do you take care of the child? And so for me, I feel that the love, and of course the AOI people will say love is a verb. Sure. Yeah, the action that goes into it and all of that. So I feel there was that love, there was that heart. And so if a father will leave, not because of money, then I think there are lots of factors. One of them should be family. Maybe the parents were telling, hey, this woman doesn't deserve you, or you don't need to be together. It happens. We have all been in situations or relationships where our supposed mother-in-laws or fathers-in-laws will tell you that, no, you don't have to be in this relationship. They will try everything. And for me, when I was growing up, my mom told me that when you go into a relationship, and especially the mother of the son says that, you know what, I am not agreeing to this relationship. Step back, no matter where your love has gone to. So I feel mothers particularly have a role to play. And so possibly, because I'm not too sure. Yes, so I think possibly maybe the family situation was in. Sometimes to our peers, I don't know the age that he gave birth, but the peers, especially when you give birth to a child who is not handsome or beautiful, oh yes, I remember my mom telling me that when she gave birth to me, I was not beautiful a bit.
That's a lie.
Oh yes, she tells me, and she look at me and say, hey, you are now looking beautiful like this.
You're so beautiful.
Oh yes, she told me, she would tell you that you had a beautiful shape. So when people want to take you, I just present your back so that they will take you. So imagine a young man, 25 years, giving birth to such a baby. If you are not so committed, and for the fact that you are rooted in some sort of love, and of course maybe you are really grown and matured, you have been given a training. I mean, because this is a church television, let me use the church a bit. We go to the children classes and we learn a lot of things. Probably he might have been learning some of the things. If you are not rooted in the church, in the faith, in the doctrines, in the teachings of your church and your parents guiding you, possibly knowing that this child, she's not beautiful, you can leave. So peers, family, and of course, situations where sickness kind of this kind of sicknesses, and they will tell you that when you don't take folic acid, you know, the defects of babies and all of that, and of course money aspects. But I think this situation, his wasn't part of it, and so I think basically these two things goes down to exactly, and the fact that it will make, you know, because I don't know the age, like I keep saying, but some parents sort of fool you. They will let you know that, you know, when you get married to this woman or when you take care of this child, you're sort of going to ruin your life. You can't push ahead. And so the man, knowing that, you know, it's my family taking care of me, why don't I listen to them when they speak? So when you listen to them as they speak, then you would also abandon your child.
That's true.
Yes, so that's what I think.
That's true. Yeah. Pastor, I'll come to you and I'll let you speak on the psychological effects child abandonment causes for the child, you know, and possible reasons. Is it that this man didn't love the woman and so he took it out on the baby? Could that be it? Because he found another woman. And it appears he loved and stayed and took care of them. So, like she said, is it me? Am I evil? And sadly enough, children internalize these things and make it about them. I am the problem. If I hadn't come in, my parents would have been together, you know.
Evie, I want to know, did your father plant before giving birth to you or your mom?
Me, I'm the last one, so...
You might be...
I think I was a pension baby because I'm sick.
So thank you. You see,
So you were not, it was not planned.
In a Ghanaian setting, most children are unplanned.
Yeah.
They are unplanned.
Yes.
The parents were doing their own thing.
And then they came.
And in those days, they said, make all your exams and I feel. So, most of children are unplanned.
Yeah.
So you could see, you could deduce from this story that I don't know whether they got married. She didn't state.
No,
she didn't state. So you could see that it wasn't an established marriage setting. You see, and this baby is unplanned. So if you don't plan for this baby, it could be also that I was telling you to abort it. This child is a factor. When you got pregnant, I told you to abort. I gave you money, and you lied to me. You didn't abort, and you gave birth to this child. I succumbed. And I realized that, oh, you've deceived me, so I'm leaving.
Right.
It's a factor. You understand? Then also, it could be, I want to be with you, but I'm not ready to be a father yet. I'm not ready to be a father yet. Then the woman will say, the family of the woman will say, once you've taken seed, you give birth to that child. In our house, you don't terminate.
Pregnancy.
So you don't terminate pregnancy, whether you're married or not. You see how the factors that have caused these abandonment.
Yeah.
So these are things that suck men away.
Right.
I told you I'm not ready to be a dad, and you said no. My house we keep pregnancy. We don't abort. Okay, I'm going. Keep it. Then also, we planned that you should terminate. You didn't terminate.
Yeah.
You took the money, and you gave birth.
It's true.
I'm gone. It's a deception.
Yeah.
You see how it goes. So these are some of the factors. And the man, as we speak, might not be matured enough to father a child. And
as of that time.
As at that time. So if you are not matured enough, because being a father, basically by default, you learn how your father fathers you for you to father your children. If you don't know, if you have not experienced it, because we copy and paste from. That's why, excuse me to say, the lizard is not having parents to look and to learn from. Because when we're young, when you play in the sun, you see a lizard egg.
Yeah.
Reptiles don't take care of their children, unless some of them, crocodiles does.
Right.
So they don't emulate parents. So, excuse me to say, you can meet their parents on the wall and even marry them. You see, but we have parents, we have fathers. So emulate the way the father has treated you, the way he has groomed you. Then you imbibe that. Then you transfer it to the next generation. So he might not be ready. However, going to set up, you see that another family means that he was ready then.
Yes.
He was ready
now
then,
prepared.
now prepared. And honestly, the love for the woman, the love for the woman turns to the children. For that fact is there. The anger for the woman goes to the children.
Right.
So you see in some homes, when they are fighting, Utiti say Akube is insulting the mother. You see, and this attitude is not coming from my home,
Right.
it's coming from mother's home. So some parents fight against each other with their children in mind. Receiving the bomb, the stray bullet, the parents. So the love that you have for your spouse, by default, you can't do anything about it.
That's it.
And when you have disagreement, it goes there.
Yeah.
This lady, because of the absence of the father, she lacked the mental ability. Because Kweku just mentioned protection. She was vulnerable. She became open.
Yeah.
You know, when my daughter comes that, Daddy, this person beat me in school, I told her, don't come and tell me this again. When he beats you, beat him. So that you fight your battles before coming. Since I did that, she came back, Daddy, this girl hit me. I hit her back. And you go into teacher to settle it. I said, thank you. And Daddy is the only person who can do that. Mommy will say, don't be doing that.
Or mommy will go to the school.
We'll go to the school and find the teacher or find that child. But you see, she lost that.
Right.
Then I told you about the intellectual ability to grasp. She has struggled this too.
Yeah.
When the daddy is not there. So mentally, she's broken
Right.
because of the absence of this father. And if you're a father and you are absenting yourself, this is what you are causing in the life of the child or the children that you have. So if you're not ready to give birth and to be responsible enough to make sure you are transmitting these things and nurturing these mental abilities in your children, please zip up.
Right.
Yeah, zip up. Because the moment you don't zip up and you make babies that you don't plan for, you have to stand up to make sure you are mature enough to make sure. Because if you don't do that, you cause this damage to this child. And the pain that she's going through.
It's a fake grace.
It can be. She needs to see something. In the story, she said, he's not showing remorse. Meaning, when a father shows
Sorry.
remorse and says sorry.
That's well, I don't know.
We'll get it. We will definitely
Not
get
in
it.
Africa.
We'll get there. Because
Not in Africa.
Kweku, I'm going to come to you and we're going to talk about the issue that this lady is hoping that we speak on, which has to do with, does the father have a right to now come and claim ownership and say that I'm coming to collect Dowry, I need to walk you down the aisle, you know? And is it considered dishonoring for her to say, please, no, I'll let my stepfather do the job of a father since you weren't one to me?
Oh, this is really heavy.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to look at it at two different angles, if I may, right? Again, let me look at it in the Western world because I grew up in Canada, right? So there are lots of things like this that do happen. But yet again, when it happens, it's like the child has the right to say no, and they respect that, right? Now, when we look at it in the Ghanaian perspective, again, we're looking at the angle of tradition.
Yeah.
I'm your dad. I brought you into this world. Therefore, I still have to have honor. I'm sorry to say, but no, you do not get honor because you lost that privilege when you had abandoned me. Now, when we digest the story, at 3 years old, the child doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Now, at the age of 10, we're hearing the child saying, I want to see my dad. I want to build a type of relationship with my dad. And the dad still rejects. So now when you're rejecting, you're pretty much rejecting what God has given you to take care of. And when that happens, God will eventually replace. And in this situation, it seems like God has replaced.
Yeah.
Because you pretty much spat in God's face and said, you know what, I don't want to take care of this child. Just to circle back on what Pastor and Mom had said. Yes, I can understand that maybe the family of the dad does not want the mom. Maybe they were not married. Maybe he was not mature enough. But, you know, I still believe it should not be an excuse to abandon your child that you brought to earth or that God had blessed you to, to bring to earth. You know, if there was a good supporting system, right? And when I mean supporting system, maybe the grandparents could have supported, right? Maybe something could have worked out. Now we have a situation where, people fall apart. And because people fall apart, yes, I may not want to do anything with you, but you be my child, I still want to make sure I have some type of relationship with you.
Sure.
I may not want to have a relationship with your mother, but if I have it with you, yes, when you're getting married, I will be there. Now that's a different scenario. Now let's think into this factor. The child graduated from high school. Now I don't know in Ghana, when people graduate from high school, do the parents go?
Yeah.
Over here, it's very important. Yeah, see, it's very important.
Yeah.
The dad was not there. Now the child has graduated from, let's say, university and has engineering. The dad was not there. So now, why do you want to take glory for something that's not yours?
Right.
So, in my opinion, I strongly believe no. There's nothing wrong with her saying no, because sometimes fathers or parents, they need to be very cautious of their actions. They need to be very cautious of their actions. And and I might say, yes, it is honor thy father and thy mother. That is given.
Lord.
But it also says we should not provoke our children, right?
Right.
So when you disown your child, again, I'm going to repeat myself, you're pretty much telling God, no, I don't want this. You have to also report to God. And when you report to God and it's not looking good, God would definitely take that blessing away and give it to someone else. So to me, the way I see this view, there's nothing wrong with her saying, no, I do not want my dad walking me down. Because it happens many times. It happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. And to piggyback on what you just said, Kweku, it says, honor thy father and mother in the Lord. We always live there in the Lord. I believe checking your responsibility is not in the Lord. So if you do that, you don't expect honor from your children. We'd have to go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll ask Pastor and then Shepherdess their view on, is it dishonoring the father to say no? Must she allow him to walk her down there? And is it a curse? We say these things a lot. God will curse you, God will curse you. God is not interested in that business. We'll be right back after the break. Please do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
I am Millicent Pepra.
And I'm a champion Ignatius. And we are Team Zion.
Representing African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. Ever since we became participants of this National Bible Bee, together with my team, we've been digging into the Bible, making research, and also having online quizzes.
Personally, the round 4 of the quiz, which is the spoken word, has affected my life tremendously. It has helped me to condense more scriptures into my spirit, and it has also helped alter my life in a more godly manner. For example, Psalm 121, I will lift up my eyes unto the hill. When does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. This scripture has blessed my life in a very positive way, and it has also inspired me and also helped me to trust in the Lord.
We chose Jeremiah and Daniel for the first round, and this has appreciated us with godly morals and principles, and it has also helped us that God's punishment can be used as a corrective measure for his people or nations, as it is written in Proverbs that horses and chariots are prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord. We Zionites, we are going to win this competition by setting the stage on fire. Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
Only on Hope Channel Ghana.
Get ready to experience another never-to-be-forgotten evening as the Symphonials proudly presents a mega musical concert dubbed Grazioso 2023. Theme, Come Let Us Sing. This program is slated on Saturday, 15th April 2023 at the Accra International Conference Center. Time 4 p.m. Tickets regular 50 Ghana cedis, VIP 100 Ghana cedis. You can purchase your tickets using the short code *800*801# or call these ticket hotlines 0201-471-209 or 0555-910-963. Come for a delightful experience in God's presence, worshiping and praising through His music. Sponsors: Valley View University, Ren Power Systems, Wiggle IT Solutions, Jake Short, Time to Think Foundation, Advent Press, Premium Star Quality Group Limited, Agile Ventures, Media Partners, City TV, CTFM, Hope Channel Ghana, Metro TV, Praise TV, and ABN. It's going to be super massive, so don't miss out. Come and enjoy an evening of music that will leave an indelible mark on your heart.
In the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie, and I have been doing this with Pastor Lami, Mrs. Amponsa, and Kweku. We've been talking about the story. He did not take care of me, but now he wants to take my diary. And we've looked at a bunch of topics. We've discussed abandonment and the effects it has on children, possible reasons why fathers will abandon their children, if there should be ever a reason why you would do that, you know. And we are going to look at if the lady can go ahead and say, you know what, I don't want you to walk me down the aisle, I don't want you to take my diary. Is it wrong in the eyes of God and man? Is it a curse, as they said? Will this, you know, provoke her father to rain curses on her, and would they even stick? But before I come to Pastor, I want to read a few of our comments. Jemima Ifriye says, I always tell myself what you are doing is exactly what I will do. After reading this, yes, I will still keep to it. He sent you away, so forget about the curse issue. It's only Africa that's everything curse here, curse there. Give us a break on that. Then all marriages will be so successful. However, that's not the case. As he sent you away and relinquished his rights, so Biko, walk down the aisle with the father who raised you, the one who took care of you and made you who you are. Fatherhood isn't just about making babies. Yeah. Sperms can be bought in clinics now. If you were very poor and begging for a job now, would he be here now to help? No. If not, keep forgetting about him. Ekuya Dako says, this is so sad and a very uncomfortable situation for her. He was really just a sperm donor. Didn't do any upbringing and wants to take credit for this. Wow. I hope she reads these comments and actually blocks him from being there. He will only remind you and your mom of your pain, and your wedding is that once in the lifetime event that you look back years later for happy memories, not pained ones. It's one of your happiest days, if not the only one. According to him, the respect as your biological father, and definitely forgive him, but that blessing from him won't help because he caused you pain. If your stepdad took care of you, he should proudly walk you down the aisle. Imagine someone who put you through so much, holding your hand and walking you down to meet the man of your dreams. That's just bad luck. Bad luck being passed on. He should go back to his words when he wanted nothing to do with you. Abina says, tell him the only way to honor your stepdad is for him to walk you down the aisle. So he should understand and accept. I believe he will. Because being a father goes beyond impregnating a woman. He should take the other children's bride price. Dinah says, where were those people saying you need his blessing when he abandoned you? I don't blame him. We live in a society where people are not held accountable for their bad deeds. They end up being proud, disrespectful, and have no remorse for their actions. Let your stepfather walk you down the aisle. Let me see. Daniel says if he wants to walk you down the aisle, just calculate all the expenses from your childhood through till now, and then he should pay in full plus interest to your stepdad. After, he can enjoy walking you down the aisle. Of course. But Miesi said, how did he even know you're getting married in the first place? Tough situation. Okay,
Wow.
our time is going, so I want us to go into
it
the
could be that they all live in
discussion.
the same vicinity or
I'm sure it's
community.
the family. I'm sure she said she goes to her father's,
Yeah.
her maternal
exactly,
grandmother, so I'm sure they know,
they
so
will.
he will know.
Of course.
So, Pastor, talking about, is it considered dishonor if she refuses him to take her dowry and walk down the aisle? And these cases, do they have any
Please.
place?
If it's in the Lord, honoring him in the Lord is right.
All right.
Okay.
I believe that's something
Yeah.
that you need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the man, the father is hurting. That's why, you know, the man, he put up the ego manhood, but the man had to mellow.
Yeah.
You need to find somebody who the father listens to. Definitely there's somebody. So that he mellows. He's hurting for not taking care of her to see her bloom to this status.
The man is hurting.
Yes, I'm not lying to you. He's going through a troubling time.
Okay, so who should see who?
That's why the family support. He said she needs our help.
Okay.
So there should be a room to make sure the father comes not with ownership attitude.
Right.
That kind of ego he's coming with,
Yeah.
he needs to mellow and come with a reconciliatory attitude
Yeah.
to make sure she's coming back to make amends.
Right.
Like the way she states is that he claimed ownership and
Yeah.
I have to. Please, you have not sown into this. So don't demand as a father, because you are rather putting yourself into trouble and you are hurting this lady. And the man she is going to marry, that man, I'm praying for that man. Because that man too, anything, if she doesn't take care, she needs to make sure it is resolved with this father.
Exactly.
Anything the man does, if you don't take care, she will transfer that kind of anger
yeah.
and pain to the man, the husband that he call the love of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there should be a remedy. I wish if we have a part 2 of this, there should be a remedy to make sure the man succumb and comes with a humble heart. Your one of the messages you said, pay everything. You can't pay everything, but when you come to start building a relationship, you need to come and start build a relationship, not to demand anything.
Exactly.
Because when that is done, you could see and you could hear from her story that she just want the man to start building a relationship by saying, I'm sorry. Then being remorseful. That changes everything.
Right.
But if he's putting up this position, there's no curse he can rain on this girl. That will manifest. No curse. Because you have not done what needed to be done.
Right.
God will not even allow that. I'm speaking like a pastor now.
Yeah.
God will not allow that.
He will not. He will definitely
You
not
see,
allow.
but my sister too needs healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this traumatic situation, if you don't get healing out of it, it's going to affect your children, your new home. So you need to come up. You are not showing disrespect. You could see that the Ghanaian setting, we will say, from the traditional setting, if family members have started talking to you, meaning there is a wisdom in the heads of older people in our tradition.
Yes.
So there's a way they can resolve this issue. So the family should sit down and make sure they resolve this issue. Because once she says she's going to the paternal grandmother's house, then they have a duty
Yeah.
to make sure that, meaning she had a connection, but you could see she was not being given the opportunity of fatherhood. Because I don't have the father's love. You know, some of us don't. I didn't have a mother. She died before I was even 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
But how did I learn to gain motherly love? I had to copy from how people love their mothers, how they love, how they relate to them, because I had no none.
Example.
So with my sister, with my aunties, I had to learn. So there's room for this our sister to learn to have fatherly love, because it's not too late.
Right.
It's not too late. So it's not showing dishonor. We shouldn't bring that aspect at all.
At all.
Please, you didn't do anything to be honored. You didn't. People are buying awards.
Yeah.
Even you pay before you get the award.
Yeah.
You have not done anything. So why do you expect? Why do you want this to be done to you?
Right.
So
Right.
please, we shouldn't falter her that curses are going to be on her,
Not at all.
because there's a white man, a black man took to a juju man, and the juju man told the black man that this white man does not believe in our God. So any case
It
you
will not
read,
even work.
it will not work. It will not even work. So the family supports in this that aspect that they are saying your father's blessing. If they want a blessing, they should resolve that issue. Those people who are advising that you need your father's blessing, they should come together and resolve for her to have a peace, because she needs peace to start a new home.
You know, let me just come in. How would the stepfather also feel? How would the stepfather also feel after taking care of you? Now you say you have resolved with your father, and so your father should walk you down the aisle. How will I feel? Personally, I feel, you know, for her to maintain that position with the stepfather, that's unity, that's love. Of course, she can forgive the father, but to walk down the aisle, no. I would say no, and never.
Yeah, Pastor, no, the fathers can share.
How?
Your father can take the dowry.
No way. No way. I have forgiven, just like you said. Right. I have forgiven you, but to be part of my life, no way. You know, I have heard a lot of my peers saying that when the Bible says, honor your father and mother, there was no condition. How about when the Bible also says that do not provoke your child? The father should not provoke this girl, because she's so hurt, she's so angry. So one pastor even says the father is hurt, you are hurt. How about me? Do you even feel for me? You don't. So just don't even come with ego, like we are saying. Of course, we believe in a tradition where when there are issues like this, always the child should calm down. How? I can't calm down like this. You see, so where were the family at the time the child was growing up and the father was not showing responsible, you know, attitude towards them? What did they say? Exactly. Where were they? Did they also try bringing the child closer to them? Were they also giving, sponsoring, you know, taking care of the girl? Because there have been issues like that. Even if the father will not care, the grandmother will. The aunties will, the uncles will, then you will know that, you know, they tried, they pushed. It was just because the father was not ready, he felt reluctant not to take care of you. So for me, I feel there is nothing dishonest about this. The real truth, and of course it's real talk, the real truth is that I am not agreeing to the fact that you will walk me down the aisle. No way. I will never agree. But I can forgive you. Of course, that is our mandate as Christians. If I don't forgive, even if I don't forgive, what do I get? If I forgive, I don't get it. If I don't forgive, I don't get it. You know, you see, but of course, there will be some sort of burden lifted, you know, because whenever you see your father, you get angry. But when this situation has been solved, you feel at peace. And so you can greet him. Yes, you can go visit him. You know, I have realized the only time a Ghanaian father will apologize, quote unquote, some fathers will apologize is when they are on their sick bed dying. That is when they will apologize, especially when they are very sick and their wards are taking care of them, paying the bills of the hospital bills and all of that. And so I feel that it is not always the situation. You don't have to be on your sick bed before you apologize. Get to know that you have hurt me, and I deserve this apology. Talk to me. Let me feel that you have remorsefully, you are just so down. Then I can forgive you. If I forgive you, I always say this, if I forgive you, if you come to me, I'm sorry, and nothing shows, like we are saying the verb, there's no action backing it. What shows you I can't forgive you. That's true. I can't forgive you. So there is nothing dishonest in this. The Bible, I mean, does God have time for all these things? He has a lot of things to judge us on. But you know, even I'm told that even the gods, they also have judges. Sometimes when you bring somebody to the gods, they also call caucus meeting. They sit on your case and decide either to let these cases happen or not. And so even them, I'm sure they have an elderly person who will tell them that, you see, this one, it will not work. And so just as the gods will not even allow it to work, the same God will also not agree to that. Yes, so I still stand by my faith that no way. No way.
So we have such...
But sorry, before you even go,
to the point that you want to speak.
Yes.
I'll let you speak.
You
on
have
it.
to.
Kweku, I want you to speak on discussing the man's action. Any advice for such fathers before you come in and demand dowry and demand to walk down there? I don't know. I think it's for showmanship because I don't know what he's going to benefit from it. What advice would you give to fathers who have neglected their children and then show up just for picture day in this case?
Picture day, interesting.
Yeah, picture day.
You know what? I can't say I can give an advice, but what a suggestion I could give, like what Pastor was saying earlier on, less pride. Kill your pride. And forgive me to say this, some of our Ghanaian parents, we have so much pride set. Like it's I don't know why it's so hard to say, you know what, I am sorry for what I've done to you. And because of that, it causes many boundaries and barriers between the child and the parent. So a suggestion I can give a father who's out there that's in a situation like this is they will need to swallow their pride. They will need to see, they always say in the Ghanaian home we have Openimua or Ofi. So the head of the house, go to them. Even if the parents, and I know this, adults will never correct another adult in front of a child, which is fine. So if the father can take a step into talking to a leader and an elder in the house, I think many of this emotional damage, the stress that goes on between a father and a child can really diffuse.
Yeah.
So my take would be just, swallow your pride, your pride, and it's killing us.
Yeah.
It's really killing us.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor. Quickly, she was wondering, she doesn't even want to do the traditional marriage, she just wants to go and sign. Is this an option for her?
Oh yeah, because that's why we have ordinance. Because when the colonial masters brought their way of marriage and Christianity, the Christian converts were not when they convert to Christianity, they were not allowed to get married their own way. So they created this ordinance for us so that they can marry without the traditional one. So in our laws now, the traditional one is a legal marriage that is legally binding. Then we have the ordinance. That one too is legally. The traditional is not a prerequisite to ordinance.
Right.
They all stand on their own.
Right.
Then the Muhammadans one.
Right. Yeah.
But the traditional one comes with, there's a certificate for that.
Yes.
It's polygamous.
Yeah.
So that's why most of the Christian church does succumb to that certificate.
Alone.
So that one, the men can marry more than one.
Yes.
The women are not allowed to marry more than one. So we have these options. That's why it was done over there. However, whatever you choose comes with the consequences.
Right.
So if my sister is ready to go and sign the ordinance, that one too, witnesses can be people who are above 18 and are sane. It shouldn't be compulsory your parents.
Right.
At least we are giving this legal, it's stated in our laws, marriage laws. The person witnesses two from each other. But the problem is the man she's going to marry ready for this? The take of the man is very important.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is not about the other person.
Unfortunately, I have to rush you, Pastor.
Yeah, it's about you. So my sister, the forgiveness is about you. It's not about your father.
Right.
If you forgive him, you will heal.
Right.
If you don't forgive him, what are you going to go tell your grandchildren? That you have two grandparents. Are you ready for that? If you don't forgive, if you forgive, are you ready to face that? So these are, if you go and sign at the court, are you ready to take the family's bombardment about this step? The African culture, you don't marry an individual.
Marry the family.
You marry a family. So are you ready to hold on to these pressures when you take this decision?
Right.
That is why you need to relook at this, the steps you are taking. You say you need help. So our help is traditionally, who takes the dowry? Who takes the dowry? In your traditional setting, if the father has misbehaved, if he has a brother who is, there are so many ways to handle this.
Right.
So if traditional is the father who takes the dowry and no one else, what do? You need to sit up with the family and discuss it.
Right.
Then you can look at this one, the traditional aspect. That's why I'm repeating myself. If you are ready, I'm saying that there's room, because if the family is shouting, now they are there. So use this occasion to resolve this conflict.
Thank you. Mrs. Sampos, I wanted to say something
yes,
very
in resolving
important.
it, I still hold on to the fact that she should not agree to the fact that she should walk her down the aisle. But that notwithstanding, I think we are focusing so much on women empowerment lately, forgetting the role of man, or forgetting the young men behind. It is our duty and our responsibility as pastors, shepherds, mentors, to, in as much as we are grooming the young lady to be very receptive, to be accommodating, to be responsible and submissive, we should also do same to the men. And so that when the men realize that, okay, you know, growing up, my mom taught me that I have to do A, B, C, just as the sister was doing. It helps the society, and together we build a good society for ourselves. Remember, for everything we are struggling on, there is a day that we are going to account. And
absolutely.
So, yes, I still stand that no, don't agree. Thank you.
I think there's no right or wrong answer in this discussion. It's based on what you pick and the consequences that comes with it, and how you live peacefully with yourself. I think personally, the father should relax on this. He should just let the lady go and marry, and after try and solve his. He shouldn't use the dowry and walking down the aisle as a yardstick. She should have a day, then they can solve
the marriage.
I know.
It will delay it.
I hope that this will not cause another issue with the husband. And now, if your daughter loses this money, she'll never forgive you.
You're going to worsen the situation.
I know. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you, Asafo Mame, and thank you, Kweku, for your opinion. I wish we had more time. Like Pastor said, we will probably do a part 2, because there are so many things we didn't say. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back same time next week with another interesting story. This is Real Talk, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. My name is Evie, and please do have yourselves a lovely evening.